First he called loudly to Odysseus, peer of gods in council, and woke him, for he was soon roused by the sound of the battle cry. He came outside his tent and said, "Why do you go thus alone about the host and along the line of the ships in the stillness of the night? What is it that you find so urgent?" And Nestor, knight of Bryne, answered, "Odysseus, noble son of Laertes, take it not amiss, for the Achaeans are in great straits. Come with me, and let us wake some other, who may advise well with us whether we shall fight or fly." On this Odysseus went at once into his tent, put his shield about his shoulders, and came out with them. First they went to Diomed, son of Titus, and found him outside his tent, clad in his armor, with his comrades sleeping round him, and using their shields as pillows. As for their spears, they stood upright on the spikes of their butts that were driven into the ground in burnished bronze, flashed afar like the lightning of Father Zeus. The hero was sleeping upon the skin of an ox, with a piece of fine carpet under his head. Nestor went up to him and stirred him with his heel to rouse him, upbraiding him and urging him to bestir himself. "Wake up," he exclaimed, "son of Titus. How can you sleep on in this way? Can you not see that the Trojans are encamped on the brow of the plain hard by our own ships, with but a little space between us and them?" On these words Diomed leaped up instantly and said, "Old man, your heart is of iron, you rest not one moment from your labors. Are there no younger men among the Achaeans who could go about to rouse the princes? There is no tiring you." And Nestor, knight of Bryne, made answer, "My son, all that you have said is true. I have good sons and also much people who might call the chieftains, but the Achaeans are in gravest danger. Life and death are balanced as it were on the edge of a razor. Go then, for you are the younger than I, and of your courtesy, rouse Ajax, the fleet son of Hylas." Diomed threw the skin of a great tawny lion about his shoulders, a skin that reached his feet, and grasped his spear. When he had roused the heroes, he brought them back with him. They then went to the round of those who were on guard, and found the captains not sleeping at their post, but wakeful and sitting from their arms about them, as sheepdogs that watch their flocks. When they are yarded, and hear a wild beast coming through the mountain forest towards them, forthwith there is a hue and cry of dogs and men, and slumber is broken. Even so was sleep chased from the eyes of the Achaeans as they kept the watches of the wicked night, for they turned constantly towards the plain. Whenever they heard any stir among the Trojans, the old man was glad and bade them be of good cheer. "Watch on, my children," said he, "and let not sleep get hold upon you, lest our enemies triumph over us." With this he passed the trench, and with him the other chiefs of the Achaeans who had been called to the council. Meriones and brave son of Nestor went also, for the princes bade them. When they were beyond the trench that was dug round the wall, they held their meeting on the open ground, where there was a space of clear of corpses. For it was here that when night fell, Hector had turned back from his onslaught on the Argives. They sat down, therefore, and held a debate with one another. Nestor spoke first. "My friends," said he, "is there any man bold enough to venture among the Trojans and cut off some strangler, or bring us news of what the enemy mean to do, whether they will stay here by the ships away from the city, or whether now that they have worsted the Achaeans, they will retire within their walls? If he could learn all this and come back safely here, his fame would be high as heaven in the mouths of all men, and he would be rewarded richly. For the chiefs from all our ships would each of them give him a black ewe with her lamb, which is a present of surpassing value, and he would be asked as a guest to all feasts and clan gatherings." They all held their peace, but Diomed of the loud war cry spoke, saying, "Nestor, gladly will I visit the host of the Trojans over against us, but if another will go with me, I shall do so in great confidence and comfort. When two men are together, one of them may see some opportunity which the other has not caught sight of. If a man is alone, he is less full of resource, and his wit is weaker." On this several offered to go with Diomed. The two Ajaxes, servants of Ares, Meriones, and the son of Nestor, all wanted to go, so did Menelaus, son of Atreus. Odysseus also wished to go among the hosts of the Trojans, for he was ever full of daring, and thereon Agamemnon, king of men, spoke thus: "Diomed," said he, "son of Titus, man after my own heart, choose your comrade for yourself. Take the best man of those that have offered, for many would now go with you. Do not through delicacy reject the better man, and take the worst out of respect for his lineage, because he is of more royal blood." He said this because he feared for Menelaus. Diomed answered, "If you bid me take the man of my own choice, how in that case can I fail to think of Odysseus, than whom there is no man more eager to face all kinds of danger, and Pallas Athena loves him well. If he were to go with me, we should pass safely through the fire itself, for he is quick to see and understand." "Son of Titus," replied Odysseus, "say neither good nor ill about me, for you are among the Argives who know me well. Let us go going, for the night wanes and dawn is at hand. The stars have gone forward, 2/3 of the night are already spent, and the third is alone left us." They then put on their armor. Brave Thrasymedes provided the son of Titus with a sword and a shield, for he had left his own at his ship, and on his head he set a helmet of bull's hide without either peak or crest. It is called a skull cap, and is a common headgear. Meriones found a bow and quiver for Odysseus, and on his head he sent a leathern helmet that was lined with a strong plating of leather thongs, while on the outside it was thickly studded with boar's teeth, well and skillfully set into it. Next to the head there was an inner lining of felt. This helmet had been stolen by Autolycus out of Ilion, where he broke into the house of Amminator, son of Ormenus. He gave it to Amphithemis of Kythera to take to Scandia, and Amphithemis gave it as a gift, guest gift, to Molus, who gave it to his son Meriones. And now it was set upon the head of Odysseus. When the pair had armed, they set out, and left the other chieftains behind them. Pallas Athena sent them a heron by the wayside upon their right hands. They could not see it for the darkness, but they heard its cry. Odysseus was glad when he heard it, and prayed to Athena. "Hear me," he cried, "daughter of aegis-bearing Zeus, who You who spy out all my ways, and who are with me in all my hardships, befriend me in this mine hour, and grant that we may return to the ships covered with glory after having achieved some mighty exploit that shall bring sorrow to the Trojans. Then Diomed of loud war cry also prayed, Hear me too, said he, daughter of Zeus, unwearable be with me, even as you were with my noble father Titus. And he went to Thebes, as envoy sent by the Achaeans. He left the Achaeans by the banks of the river Aesopus, and went to the city bearing a message of peace to the Cadmeans. On his return thence, with your help, goddess, he did great deeds of daring, for you were his ready helper. Even so, guide me and guard me now, and in return I will offer you in sacrifice a broad, loud heifer of a year old, unbroken and never yet brought by man under the yoke.